morning. I am late. I was right on time and then I decided to listen to music. I'm sorry. I know your time is important. I'm sorry. Good morning. Good morning. And see, I've got my other one on so I could hear me. Oh, any other day? That would never work. Let's make that quit. Okay. Hope everyone had a good Easter, a good weekend. Had a very quiet, calm weekend. Thank you, Melissa. Melissa, Practically Creative, has to step out this morning. She says, good morning. Have a great live today. And I don't know. I imagine it depends on how her day goes, whether she is up to doing a live tonight, but she tries to do lives Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. I always forget to change the time. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Sylvia. Sylvia is also at You and Me FPP, and she does lives or premieres Friday mornings, depending on how things work out. Okay. Sylvia, Sylvia still doesn't have heat tomorrow? Huh? I thought you were getting heat over the weekend. I am so sorry. You've got some electric heaters, I think. Oh my gosh, that's a long time with no heat. Supposed to come Saturday, but guess he couldn't get the part. Oh, okay, that's why I thought you had heat. I thought he was getting the part and coming back and fixing it for you. Crazy, crazy. Oh, 7 degrees Celsius last couple days. Blankets extra in bed. Extra jumpers went up. Oh goodness, Sylvia. Good morning, Sherlock Sews. Let's see, Deborah Wright, supposed to be warmer here this week. I'll still be cold, always am. We're supposed to get rain. I haven't looked at the radar. I listen to the weather radio and it rarely gets right. Can you hear that? That is highway noise and it is way off there. And the birds, you may also hear birds. I have the window open because when there's not highway noise, that can't even be a highway. That's probably a tractor on one of these back, I don't know what it is. Big truck on one of these back roads. People, it's early. But there are birds outside making noise, and I thought that was a pleasant noise to hear. Let's see. Say good morning, Lori, Sylvia. Sylvia's about to start her last 3 African animals. She does some really, really cute African animals with raw edge applique. They are adorable, and the variegated threads she's using for the, what's it called, Echo quilting, where their heart and coffee hasn't been had. For the Echo quilting, looks so cool. I don't have any variegated thread. I think I'm going to get some. Not right now. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to scroll down. Birds sound nice. Thank you for the link, Sherlock. I appreciate that. Sherlock Sews. Lori. Lori, I really can't help myself anymore. I have to say it twice. Sylvia does hear birds. The birds sound nice. Everybody can hear the birds. Good. Hope that loud truck stops going. And we do live out in the boonies. It's very rare to hear sirens, but when you know I'm doing a live, I bet their siren's going to go off. I'm doing a live with the windows open. I do lives all the time. In fact, I'm here every Monday morning to start your week off with some fun, silliness, and goofiness, a little bit of sewing. 6:30 a.m. Central Standard Time here in Missouri. Okay, my bangs are just doing their own thing and making my forehead itch. It's going to drive me nuts and turn my face red. So that's going to be fun. I was thinking, I wasn't sure what I was going to do this morning because yesterday I had to stop altogether. Apparently, my hip does not like setting up. My hip stopped working, so I couldn't set up at all because there's constant pressure on your hip when you're sitting up. Who knew? So that right hip has been wonky for years. I don't know what's wrong with it. I just know when it decides to stop, it decides to stop. And so do I. So I played some World of Warcraft. Hardcore challenge. If your character dies, you delete it. You don't get extra lives. You just delete it. So I'm being very careful. Fern King, good morning. She will be in Missouri Friday visiting family. Nice. What part of Missouri? Just from the center, north, south, east, west. Not asking details, just curious. Oh, Deborah sciatic started up for her on Saturday. That stinks. I had to go to the emergency room once for that. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like this week. I know today's storms, it's clear outside here. So I don't know where the storms are in Missouri. That weather radio gives a bigger view than and not so much targeted. Sylvia's sciatic is horrible. I had no idea what it was. When I went to the emergency room, they're like, it's sciatic. And I was, is that supposed to mean something to me? I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. That's a pain that's going to go all the way down your backside, down your leg, and it's not going to stop. You can't get comfortable. You can't get it stopped. Last night, I was having what do I call them? It's like having fits. I think they call it fits in the old days. Spasms. It took me a long time to get to sleep because when I have a spasm, it's like somebody's grabbed my shoulder and jerked me back, or my hip and jerked me back, and it's painful. But it passed. I slept. We're up now. Messy hair and all. Messy hair, swollen face. It's Monday morning. We're just going to smile and be happy we woke up. Over the weekend, it takes me forever to get ideas to do stuff. I finally decided on what I wanted to do for some of the stuff to sell. Those mug rugs I was making, not mug rugs, coasters. Coasters are very small. Coasters I was making, I decided to make a matching mug rug. I know you can put a coaster on a mug rug, but I don't want my plate and my cup on the same thing, especially when it's that small. And most of them are smaller than this. This is standard A4. I think that's what it's called. I don't use that term. I'm trying to be fancy. Printer paper. Standard printer paper. I just sized it at, and I was thinking, if you had a magazine rack, you could put them all in your magazine rack and hold them really nice. But anyway, I decided to make a giant pineapple with, when I saw this, it was on Donna Jordan, and I've got links I will share in just a minute. Oh, nose itchy. Jeez, my face gets her bright red. Oh, anyway, I saw Donna Jordan do it, but then she's the first one I saw do it, and it went in my second quilt I made. Since I've seen Misty Donna, she did one live, and I believe she's the one that referred to it as Seminole Piecing. And I looked up Seminole Piecing, and it is Native American, and if you want to look that up, feel free. I will get you some links, but it's this. Oh, that looks horrible when you get it right up to it. It's flannel. I do not enjoy working with flannel. Not in this little pieces. It's very stretchy. Lots of pinning or clipping or glaring. I think glaring works pretty well. Thank you very much. Let's see. St. Louis area. Nice. Oh, that is cool. I know another YouTuber, T-Quilts, lives in the St. Louis area. I like her. Let's see. Deborah says, I have more ideas than time. Don't we all? My mind would not settle. Good morning, Giovanna. I just love that name. Maybe it's because we don't have names like that here. Or good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon. You and our friends over in the UK too. And Marie, Scrappy Creations, good morning to you. Oh, thank you for joining me, everyone. Giovanna, I just think that is so pretty. Marie has a channel, and I'll try to get that in. But the Seminole Piecing, you could use multiple colors, and it looks stunning. In fact, I don't know if Sylvia put a short up, but she did one like that. She saw somewhere else. And it was multiple colors, and it just makes a stunning border. And it's very, I say very simple. I hate it when people say very simple, because then when I look at it, I'm like, how long have you been sewing? This is simple. But anyway, I'm going to do those, and then I'm not going to put binding on them. I'm just going to put the plain piece of matching fabric, stitch and flip it out, top stitch, get all those done. Let's see, let me get some links in here. Oops, my keyboard's not going to move. It doesn't get closer. Okay, first, what did I put Seminole Piecing under? When I add things 5 minutes before the live starts, I can't remember what I added. I'm just happy I got it in. There it is. And Marie is on Wednesdays. She does What's Up Wednesdays. She shares tutorials on Sundays. Let's see, this one is for the other links for the Seminole Piecing, in case you don't like the way I describe it, in case you need more information. YouTube is a great resource. Oh, I don't know what Marie did. She says she can't spell this morning. I can't spell. I'm not even going to lie anymore. I can't spell. Even when I think I can spell, I can't spell. Oh, that's some more resources for the Seminole Piecing where I found them at for me when I did them. So let's see. And there's Marie. Live Wednesdays when she's up to it. She does tutorials. There are teachers and there are people like me. I do, and if you can learn from it, great. Maybe one day I'll be better at teaching, but I don't see myself as a teacher in the way I see others as teachers. Okay. Anybody want to see Seminole Piecing? And I always make my own sizes because I have to switch them around to fit what I'm doing. These have, let's get one back up here. These I only needed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces for. I'll show you the back. I only needed 5 of these little strips for them. So I was using 16-inch strips, and I didn't need that much. It made twice as much, so I went down to 10-inch strips. That way, if I cut one wonky, hopefully I have enough to cut another. Excuse me. Oh, goodness, my nose. Oh, Sylvia's is going to be up later. Everybody's saying hi, everybody. Oh, Sherlock said she can't spell this morning. I'm sorry. I think I credited that to Marie. I clearly can't read this morning. Be right back. Coffee. Go get your coffee, girl. You're welcome, Marie. Thank you. You're perfect just the way you are. Well, and I like to chat, and this gives me the opportunity to chat with like-minded people, and I love it. And they have great ideas, lots of great ideas. I wish I could do them all. Oh, and I'm going to, Angel isn't the only one that told me over at Halo Inspirations. Someone else had mentioned wristlets, the key fobs. Key fobs. I am going to whip up some of those. Hopefully that's a whipped up thing. It looked really fast, really easy, because someone sent me some of the hardware for a package of hardware for them. So I'm going to make as many as I got a package for, put them up there and hope they sell. And for you that don't have a clue what in the world this crazy woman's talking about, making all this stuff, my bonus parents have a farmer's market booth south of me in the Ozarks for this entire year. It starts the first Saturday in May, ends I want to say last Saturday in December. I may be wrong about that date. Anyway, and they have generously offered to give me a space in their booth to sell things. Whether it sells or not, that's okay. I'll have plenty of stuff to give away to relatives if it doesn't. Because I know my husband is already in love with those mug rugs. And I was like, I don't do a lot of foundation paper piecing because it is very hard on my hands, the arthritis in them. But anyway, that's what the pineapples are. I try to do 2 a day. If I can do 2 a day, that's just enough to make my hands know that they're not going to do anything else, but get that done. Okay. 43 Fern says here in Southwest Indiana this morning. Burr, it's in the 50s here. It was in the 60s in the house, so I opened the window. I run around getting everything situated that I didn't get situated last night. I thought, oh, I'm done. I can just sit down tomorrow when it's time to do the live. No, crazy woman, because you did not set anything up. And that, I think, is YouTube's fault. Me talking about myself like I'm talking about somebody else. Okay. Let's see. Giovanna says, I'm dyslexic, so I can't spell to save my life. Welcome to the club. I'm not dyslexic. Math was my, and now I can't think of subject. Math was my subject. Spelling, all that was just secondary. I had to get through that to move up the chain in my math classes. Oh, Lynn, can't do much that early in the morning. Made some key fobs just yesterday, Marie says. Marie, like I said, Marie has all kinds of tutorials over on her channel. Check them out. I have. In fact, when I was looking for stuff to sell, first thing I did, I went over to Marie's lurking around, nosing around. Okay. I'm trying, like I said, I'm making them to match these. Well, I don't have any flat black fabric anymore, so I'm using this vine. It'll be fine. Like I said, if it doesn't sell, I know people will like it. So match that one and match this one. And I'm going to tilt my camera. 30 degrees at Marie's. Burr. Exactly. Giovanna says there is always a birthday or something to give stuff. Yes. And it wouldn't hurt my husband's feelings none if I kept all of these flannel pineapple mug rugs that I'm making. Oh, Sylvia, math, spelling, both overrated. LOL. Giovanna says, me too. I had great grades in math. Now, my thinking, because of pain and everything, I'm not as quick to come up with answers. I was in school with people who could do math like this. Big equations and stuff, just right off the top. My son can do that. It's amazing to me. But I need a piece of paper. I do need a piece of paper, and then I'm fine. I'm not that quick, but my husband, he'll throw some math at me when I'm doing something else. I say, come on, math girl. Actually, he doesn't say it like that. I don't know what he says, but I thought you were good at math. It's his favorite thing. I was good at math. 1 plus your math is going to get slugged. No, I'm kidding. That is a joke. For all you new people, I joke with my husband. My husband jokes with me. We are not violent to one another. Be nice to your spouse, your significant other, whoever it may be. Oh, goodness. Sylvia is making a snake for our African animals quilt, and it has 35 pieces. It's going to be 66 where Lori is. Need to make some shopping tote bags for my sis, Fern King says. I think you already subscribed to Marie. Marie has done one recently, and actually, I think everybody has done one recently. Marie and Melissa, I saw one over at Dawn, my quilt projects. Make sure everything is where it is. I'm great at typing when there's no cursor in the window. I think Brandy's going to do one. Brandy is live at 9 this morning. She is the 100 Proof Quilter. And she is one of my mods. She's been doing some cute shorts and has, I can't remember if she shared this with everybody on her channel or not, so I'm just keeping it to myself. She has fun stuff going on right now. What was I going to do? Oh, Brandy. Brandy. Alrighty. Now back to what I was talking about. Or I'm never going to get this done. What time is it? I thought that said almost 8. I was about to freak out. Okay. I'm going. Well, my phone decided it's not giving me notifications this morning. So if anything goes wonky, I'll never know. I'm going to tilt you guys down so you can see what I'm doing. Not going to see my face. It's all right. We'll all live. Well, I can try to tilt you. Okay. And yes, I am in my socks. And, oh, shirt. Kindness matters. Be nice. Okay. I shouldn't confuse people. Now, these strips I'm using, the center one is 1.5. The outer are 2. That way I have lots of space. I'm giving myself a lot of space out here to trim off. Down. To trim down here. That's what that, a little bit wider, is just going to, it's fine. All you do is you put them together like this. So this one, 2 of these center. Did I cut these? I did cut these the same size. So they're going to work. Let's not make that noise. My machine does not sit on the right one. I've got my piecing foot on, 1/4 inch foot. Trying to use my chair as a pedal. That's not going to work. Make sure they're lined up. This is a Brothers CP60X. And I'm not going to iron these because that takes too much time. I didn't iron the flannel ones because the flannel probability I'd mess them up was very high. So I'm doing this on one side and this on the other side. And you could put several colors in the center. Might try that, but like I said, Sylvia's got one going up like that, so. I do hold on to my threads. That's why my hand is always over here or over here. It's hanging on my threads so the machine doesn't eat them because I'm not using leaders and enders. And it works fine for me. If you use leaders and enders, you get 2 birds, 1 stone. So my 1.5 inch in the middle, 2 inches on the sides. What I was saying, Marie's bags look great, and they do. I love her bags. And then when I cut them, why did I do that? I'm gonna make sure using my seam, is that as close as we can get? I actually have a way to get closer. Watch my monitor get unplugged. But I put it away, and I didn't think y'all would want to move that much. I'm using my seam here as a guide to get me straight. Because we're going to assume, and we all know what happens when we do that, that is straight. I'm going to cut these off. I clean up my space as I go. It's very hard on lives when I don't. Since I'm doing 1.5 inch segments, I'm going to cut a larger piece of subcut. 1.5 plus 1.5 is 3. 3 plus 1.5 is 4.5. 4.5 plus 1.5 is 6. You can replay that slowly if you don't believe me. So this ruler I have is exactly 6 inches. It's a Missouri Star, except for I bought it off Amazon. I didn't even see this one at Missouri Star. Let me move over. Share the space. Talk to my stuff. So I'm going over 6 inches, and I should get 4 out of this. Why did I turn it? I don't know. I already had a straight edge. subcut all these to 1.5. I'm slow at this because my eyes aren't focusing on where they need to be all the time. Not used to cutting that 1.5. By the time I'm done, it will be. I'm still using my seam here and my line on my ruler. The Missouri Star rulers were great for my eyes. See, there's 3. I need 5. Appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with me. And that one is right on. So I need 1 more. Now I was thinking if I cut and sew just right, I could have gotten this out of an 8-inch piece, 8-inch strips. But the probability of me doing everything just right, well, actually must be pretty good, but I thought it was pretty low. And then to put these together, I'm going to pin. I pin intersections. It makes me happy. I've tried clipping. When I take the clips off, I get a lot of pulling and they hit my foot. Let's see. I'm reading the chat. Lynn. Good morning, Lynn. I didn't say good morning to you, did I? Good morning. I am so sorry. That was very rude of me and not intentional. I get caught up in saying what I'm trying to say. I forget to do things that I should do. Oh. Oh, Giovanna ordered a book on Amazon and it never arrived, so she had to get a refund. I don't think we've had any trouble with Amazon like that here yet. It's bound to happen. Okay, so now, what makes, I should just leave this up here. What makes this pretty design? Put it over here. Is take 2. They're lined up, as usual. Move this one down to where the bottom is lined up with this top, and that will nest when you flip it over. And when I say nest, I mean these 2 seams butt up against one another and just play very nicely with each other. And then I'm going to I put it on the seam, my pin. Oh, I'm not going to pin all these. On the flannel ones, I pinned at every seam because they were trying to flip on me a whole lot and stretch out. So more pins, more stability. I'm just going to pin the seam on these. Again, 2 of them next to each other. This one goes down. Hold this up. See if I can hold this up. Whoops. Next to each other. And then one goes down. And then you fold them over, and those seams, the seams will nest because I've pressed to the dark side. I didn't say that. On these, I always press to the dark side, and they'll work out just fine. And that one I'll put on at the end. So far, so good, so simple. And just do the 1/4 inch. Pop backwards. Do not sew over your pins, although these pins I'm not going to say I have, but they're very thin. You shouldn't sew over pins. It makes horrible noises if you hit it. It breaks your needle, dulls your needle. I'm just going to sew all the way off. There's no fabric there, but I'm just going to sew all the way off. Lining it up, and I'll show you where the 1/4 inch is on this piecing foot in just a minute. I've got the sides of my fabrics lined up over here. I get right up to the needle. I'm not going to tell you what I just did. I'm going to tell you what I just did. I hit my needle. Just barely. This needle will be changed soon. Not my needle. I hit my pin. Why do I keep calling it a needle? these cut. And honestly, it does not matter which way I press these. I'm just going to go with away from me. Now you've got these two. Put them side by side. Drop that one down. Turn it over and nest your seams. And I'll be back in chat in a minute. I'm not going to put that other one on because there's too much going on here. Make sure my other fabrics are all lined up on the side of that one. Now, when I learned this, I thought it was one of the first things I learned, really. I thought it was just the prettiest technique. I don't care which way they turn as long as they turn flat. Some of them go this way, some of them go this way. Or it doesn't matter. Line it up. Move it down. Flip it over. Nest. You can see where it's offset. It's offset the one above it. Getting the size to fit around what you want to fit around. There's some math for you. My first one, just make it a little bit small and then add, which reminds me, where's my leftover fabric? Just a second. I put it away. I forgot to cut another piece. And I'll show you why. So, I'd really like to have these all pressed all nice and pretty, but we're going to go with this. So I'm going to take another piece. Oh, itchy nose. Need two more. Let's see. Trying to remember how I did this now. I didn't think this part through. I'm just going to use the whole 6 inches. I'm going to put a 6-inch piece here and here for the ends, kind of like end caps. That's what they remind me of. Usually I get to put things back and away, so having it all right here is throwing me off. That is not the right way. I'm just going to make them 6 inches. They don't need to be 6 inches, but I'd rather have a little extra than a little short. I'll use 4 of these, 2 on each one. While I'm cutting as well. I like birds in the morning. I used to go out all the time and have my coffee outside when we lived more in the country. Not a soul around. Okay, these are for the next one. Now this was a 108 I got from Marshall Dry Goods. I got 1 yard of 108 to use like yardage. I do that. I've gotten some from Missouri Star too. Okay. Now we're kind of prepared. And for me, it's not going to matter where I put this. If I even it up, if I make it even with this one, it's going to be fine. If I make it longer than this one, it's going to be fine. So I'm just going to stick it on there. If you need it to be more accurate, feel free. You do you. There's no seams to nest, so I'm not going to pin it. I am going to hold my seams down. You can't even see over here. Oh, and I have a question for y'all in chat. When I do shorts, and I know most of you don't watch shorts, it's okay. This is just a opinion poll. Is it better to see the angle from this direction or from this direction so you're getting the side of the foot as the fabric goes down it? What do you think? This is my left, this is my right. I don't know what it is on the screen, but left or right. And I will look in just a minute. Get this other side on and I'll show you how to trim that down. Where was I going? I usually trim my threads off more, but I'm not fussing with it right now. The more I fuss with those, the less I'm going to get done. Now I can fuss with it. Get them out of my way. All right. I'm just going to push it out because that's the way it's laying. Voila. We have this. Now, to trim it. This never works. Just so you know. But even though it didn't work, it looks great. I am positive I saw this from Donna Jordan. Line your center line up with the diamonds. Don't mess with me today, thing. I'm going to go over a 1/2 inch from the diamond and trim off there. Line a line up. Let's see. What is that? That is 1 1/4. I'm going 1 1/4. So I've got the 1 1/4 mark lined up with my diamonds, ideally. Ideally, I say. Let's do those so we don't actually accidentally cut them. And I think I'll have a video coming out on this. And you see that? I just pulled this a little bit to straighten it up. And then I did it too far. So what happens when you get cocky about things? That is close enough. So I'm going to have a 1/2 inch over here and a 1/2 inch over here, which is what I want. You could do it right at a 1/4 inch. Then your seam would be right on your point. I don't want to risk it. And I'm going to turn it around and do it again. Let's see. 1 1/4 and 1 1/4 is, and at this point you can actually use the other side because 1 1/4 and 1 1/4 is 2 1/2. So you could use your 2 1/2 line and call it a day, which is what I'm going to do. Or you could line it up on the center of the diamonds again at 1 1/4, which it lines up for me. Lots of math this morning. I'm And there is the Seminole Piecing. Simple 3 pieces. You can do more. I don't think you can do less. Those are decent sized scraps for those who save everything. I'm not telling you what I'm doing with these. So that is how I do it. And then to get them on my pineapple, I might have an easier one to get to, and I don't. To get them on my pineapple, I'm just eyeballing the center of this with the center of my pineapple. I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not stressing over it. Turn it over. And when I sew, I have plenty of room to stay on this side, but if I took another 1/4 inch off, I would want to stay just, let's see if I can see this, just north of this intersection to keep those tips on your diamonds. When I sew this down, that's what I'm going to be watching. I shouldn't have any trouble because I've got a 1/2 inch there instead of a 1/4 inch. Voila. Seminole Piecing. Easy peasy. Mathing may be difficult, but you can measure the side of your quilt and make a test run, see how big one's going to be, and then do the math to figure out how many you need for that. Or you can decide which size you want, and make them to fill up that side, then put the enders on them so you don't have to worry about the tip touching just right there. You can find the center and line it up that way, like I am with these. My brain likes that. Your brain may not like that. It's okay. You don't have to like that. And I'm going to do this other one because I've got a little bit of time. I love it. I think it is so stunning to have. Wondering what I did there. To have those diamonds. I always call them diamonds because I didn't know it was Seminole Piecing. I think it is so stunning. I would put them on everything, really. And I'm going to try them with more fabrics. See how quick we can do this. And we're not going to see how quick we can do this because then we mess up. But I am going to do it again. 1.5 inch, 2 inch. What size is this? And this one is like, yeah, 2.5. Trim this down to 2.5. You could trim it down to 2 inches, but be very careful of your points. Oh, I was going to show you this for new folks who may not know. I do show this because it was confusing me when people would say, your piecing foot, your 1/4 inch foot, it's the same foot on my brother. The 1/4 inch line on this foot is not the line out here. I probably have other videos that show it better. It is this little bitty indentation right over here. Let's see. You're going to be obnoxious. Oh, there it is. It's that little bitty indentation right here. That's the 1/4 inch on this foot. And that is where I'm trying to line my fabric up. I could lie to y'all and say, and I do a perfect job of it. It's always just right. It's not. It's not. I don't make show stuff. Stressing over that is not something we need. Let's see. The middle strip. Yes, the middle strips are 1/2 inch smaller than the side strips. So I have lots of room to, Giovanna asked, I'm sorry. So I have lots of room to trim down. Right here. I'm making them that way so I have more room to trim down over here. I have less to worry about. You could do them all the same size. In fact, the first one I did, it was all 2.5 inch strips. Yeah. I'm trying to remember the math on that one. I had a piece of paper. Yeah, I used 2.5 inch strips and then I cut them 2 inch. This was my first one. And you're probably going to get a glare. 3 2.5 inch strips and then I cut them at 2 inches. Take off 1/2 inch when I cut. Oh, I'm turning into Cinderella. I don't know what's going on, Marie, but I like that. Let's see. Good morning, Don Denny. I did not see you come in. Oh, Marie Scrappy Creation. She says the birds remind me of Cinderella movie cartoon. Coleen, maybe the birdies will bring ribbon and help with sewing, like in that movie. We can always wish. And that's when Don came in. I need a Cinderella moment. I think we should all have a Cinderella moment. We go from rags and scrubbing the floors to voila, princesses. With the whip of our wand, everything is done. Lori, stop using Deborah. Deborah said she'd be back. She needs coffee. And Lori said, well, you're up getting your coffee. Would you refill mine? LOL with the heart. And Giovanna wants tea. Okay, so Deborah, tag, you're it. Sure, cream and sugar. LOL, she says. And Lynn wants tea. Marie says you can have mine since I don't like it. Sherlock. Giovanna says she watches shorts. Cool. Sometimes my shorts are for showing, well, I guess teaching kind of. Sometimes they're just for inspiring. Sometimes I put shorts up just because I think they're funny or they make me happy. You like a close-up of the sewing machine. Okay, good. That's the one I prefer when I'm watching. Thank you very much, Fern King. Fern answered that. Okay, that's what she said. Coleen turns into Cinderella per my earlier comment. Please take a picture for me. You can see we're all on the Goofy Bus today. Giovanna says that is beautiful. Thank you very much, Giovanna. Pets bedding. Yeah. There you say that would work for anything. Lynn says very nice. Got my tea. Oh, Deborah, back. Got my teal version of Coleen's cup. Saved myself a trip. I don't have this in teal, but I'm sure there's one in there that is teal. My one of our sons got us all these for Christmas year before last, I think. Yeah, year before last. And I love it. It is just the right size for me. I need a giant cup. I don't want to have to go back and refill it a million times. Okay, I think I'm almost caught up. Deborah retracted the message. Shame on you, Deborah. I'm kidding. Middle strip goes to be 1/2 inch less than the side strip. Okay, I answered that, I believe. Yes. Autocorrect in my head works, but it doesn't always work when I'm reading it. So I know what you mean. I just stumbling through it. Deborah has a test next week. One of the medical hoops that she has to jump through for her knee replacement. For as that goes well. Giovanna says she was told that she's too young for knee replacement as they have a 10-year warranty. Wow. Good morning, Martha's Creative Life. And Martha also has a channel here on YouTube. She is always a ray of sunshine. I have people saying that about me all the time. I don't see it in me, but I definitely see it in others. Martha is off from work today, getting ready to go see her girl on her birthday. Oops. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Giovanna says, I love the way you guys say my name. I must butcher it. Oh, hip. Martha says she hopes everyone is doing well. And let me get my keyboard over here so I can drop your link, Martha. I have not been able to keep, well, that's not your name. That will never work. I have not been able to keep up with watching all the YouTubers I love, and I apologize. Melissa is checking in from courthouse. Yeah, she's got a checkered past. She's getting ready to, no, I'm kidding. I'm going to get this sewn. Somebody thought it might be a good idea for Melissa to be there for jury duty. I'm going to tell you again, you don't want me on a jury. I have high expectations due to my copious amounts of TV I used to watch. Giovanna, this goes back to your question about the sizes of them. I watched Donna Jordan over at Jordan Fabrics. Do this several times before I figured out the sizes that were going to work right for me. And it did not click the first time. Got both my sides on. Gonna get me a straight edge over here. Using my seam. When I say I'm using my seam, see if my camera's not wonky yet. Holding things up is hard. I'm using my seam on my line right here because I'm hoping that's straight. It seems to be working out for me, it seems. But I'm pumped to be working out for me. And if you have joined the live and you cannot comment because of the 2-day subscriber only mode, I apologize. That I change it depending on, well, depending on comments I get, really. It used to be only 20 minutes. It may go back to 20 minutes, but for right now, that seam ripper needs to go back before it impales me. Nobody wants to see that on a live. Nobody should want to see that on a live. Shame on you if you do. And whoops, I almost forgot. Cutting 6 inches and then cutting. Because the more you cut, if I cut each one of these individually, I would probably have to square that edge again because it starts shifting. That's what I hear. I follow directions because that's what I hear. I don't want to find out the hard. Actually, I've probably done it the hard way several times. One and a half. Whoops, get that line. So I'm getting that line and this edge. I'm not worried about down here or this other side, but it matches up. Happy coincidence. 2. Whoa. Had to be said. Oh. But even if you can't join the live chat right now, feel free to comment in the comments. I enjoy seeing those. It's taken me a little bit longer lately to get back to them. So I've got 4 and I need 5 for what I'm doing. So I'm going to cut one more off of this piece. Whoops. You know, I would hate to be the person to, you know, oh, I saw Coleen doing this. Then they watch and they're like, Coleen shouldn't be doing this. She don't got a clue. Sorry, that thought just occurred to me. That's okay. A lot of times I'll watch somebody and I can pick up something from them, even if I've picked up other things from other people. So it's okay. Okay. Then you put them side by side, just like you had them cut. Move one down to where your seams match here. Flip it over. I am almost positive I have footage of this as a close-up somewhere. Get your seams nesting, which means, see if we can get this up here. This little lip right here and this little lip right here go together. And it feels flatter. That's not going to make sense until you get used to feeling it. And then you're, oh, I see. Or maybe it does and it's just me. It's harder to hold them up and do it. As they were cut, drop this one down. Get this seam right here nested. Where I pressed it over, there's a little lip right there. Those two are bouncing next to each other. I didn't understand that when I started. Somebody was like, oh, and you just nest your seams. What's nest your seams mean? So then you got to Google it. That's nesting your seams. And I will be back in chat in a moment. I'm just pulling that one back out of the way because I don't want to start at the end of this one. There's no fabric there. I don't see the point. And when you nest your seams, I don't think I showed this earlier. Oh, that one just looks a little bitty tad off. Let's see if this one is. Oh, maybe it's just the way I'm doing it. Both of them. Probably look fine to you. Definitely not going to matter to me. Line them up, drop it down, flip it over. And when I'm nesting the seams, and I'm trying to nest the seams, clearly I need to get them smooshing just a little bit better there. I am also, whoops, I put the needle through the seam, the pin. I put the pin through the seam, good grief. And I line the edges of this fabric up. I'm not pinning or clipping because I can hang on to that while I'm sewing it. But I get both sides of the fabric lined up right there. Oh, I don't know what Melissa did. I saw Lynn Don't Tell on me. You know I'm going to find out, and it's going to go in the shorts. Oh. Yeah. Thread hooked the little foot there as they're going around it. So up to the needle and stop. Unless you want to throw your timing off and other things like that, then, you know, go ahead. Take that risk. It's not a risk I can take right now. So, oh, that one came out much better. Hopefully my camera is still working. It seems like it's got an hour before our internet decides to start going wonky. Okay, and this last piece, line it up, drop it down, nest the seam. I'm pretty sure that's what I say the whole time I'm making these. Get them all the way next to each other. That way you don't have right next to each other. You see? Everybody has to. That'd be my phone trying to tell me it's time up. Lynn's got to go. She's got to go do stuff in the garden. And yes, it would be nice to keep these at 1 hour. I don't. Someday I'll stop at the 1 hour point. Hey. Sorry. It was getting away with me. And for some reason, I think hey is going to stop that from moving. Ta-da! And then put what I'm calling end caps on, because that's what they remind me of. It doesn't matter if I line them up here. It doesn't matter if I line them up here. It doesn't matter if I go a little bit sideways. It's going to still work at the end. So I'm just going to make it easy on myself. Put it in the middle-ish. Someone somewhere is going, oh, good grief, I've got to turn her off. This woman is just too much fly by the seat of her pants. I can't remember if I said I did do a quick YouTube search of these. When I flip this over on it, I'm lining my edges up here. And I saw there's several content creators that have done them. So this is not unique to me. I don't want anybody to think, oh, nope, this is not unique to me. I just really enjoy the way it works out. And I'm going to use multiple colors like Sylvia one of these days. Because it is, I keep saying stunning. It is. It's, your points are there. It's vertical, so it looks like you've, I don't want to say it's a lot of time, but you know, it does. It looks like, because everything takes time. I'm pushing these all back, including that one that I just pushed the opposite way, because it'll lay flatter and be easier for me to get the sides cut off. 1 1/4 goes on the center diamond. And I will get a video up that shows this better. I hope. I'm pretty sure I've got them. I'm notorious about not hitting the cord on my computer. So 1 1/4 gives me a 1/2 inch past the diamond, which I like. If I wanted it right up to the diamond, I'd do 1 inch from the center. But 1 1/4 gives me a 1/2 inch this side. And then this whole thing, when we're done, will be 1 1/4, and 1 1/4 is 2 1/2. So when I do this side, I'm not even going to worry about getting the center because I already got the center. This line is from the center. Don't tell on me. No quilt police. They're too stressful. Whoop. Whoop. See, I keep moving it. They do have grippies for rulers. Wow, it's chilly out there. This one's going to give me foots. Okay, there we go. Number 2, done. And when I put it on my pineapple block, like I said, I'm going to pick the middle one because there's 5 here. I'll pick the middle one, line it up-ish with the middle. I'll put that on, and I need another strip to make them the length I want them. So after I put that on and flip it, I'll put another strip here. Yeah, I was looking at that, I was like, that doesn't look right. It's because they're different blocks. It doesn't go with this one. Then I will trim it the width of this. Yeah, you're going to have to watch this back like 20 times to decipher what I just said. But I'll put this on, and after I put my other strip over here, like this one, I will trim it up. And how I am trimming it is, oops, piece of printer paper. I like the consistency of that size. I use my ruler on top of it just to make sure it's straight. And I trim it using that on all sides. You can use your mat, you can use a bigger ruler, you can do whatever you want, but that, for some reason, my mind wants to do that. So that's what my mind is doing. And look at that. We may or may not have learned Seminole Piecing. Why is that one so wonky? Who knows? It's going to be cut off though. Right there. Good morning, Angel. Uh-oh. Somebody's talking about dentist. We're just getting ready to wrap up. Oh, now my nose is getting cold. Oh, goodness. Deborah says, oh, my gosh. 2 birds just flew into my bay window in living room. Scared me. Birds birds fly into these windows all the time. And every time I go, the windows aren't that clean. Why are you hitting them? Somebody's like, you must have really clean windows. No. It's the birds. Okay. Lynn stepped out. I'm sure you'll miss this, but thank you for coming, Lynn. She said, well, ladies, got to go. Need a trip to the garden. I think I did see that earlier. Chauffeur is hovering. We'll watch replay later. Take care, everyone. Let's see. Giovanna says she thinks they are pretty. Thank you very much. Melissa, Practically Creative, says, I love the Seminole border. Thank you, Melissa. Oh. I guess I should have done some explaining about Melissa's checkered past getting her at the courthouse. That's not what it was. It was jury duty. The rumors I will start. I have no shame. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to scroll on down. Otherwise, we're going to be here all day. I'll go back and read them. Oh, Sylvia, can you put a link for your channel? Did someone? Oh, there's Sylvia. Thank you very much, Melissa. We get Angel's channel in there. Oh, and there's my friend Dee Dee, who keeps me organized so I don't go crazy in the chaos that is sewing. Oh, morning, 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 ladies. Let's see. I'm going to drop Angel in there. Most of my commands are available to anyone. I use the first names generally, except for in the circumstance of mom and pop. I have, what do I use for them? MPQS is what they are. So there is Angel's, Angel over at Halo Inspirations. She also has a shop that some of us like to frequent a little bit more than we should because there's so much pretty. And then here is my friend Dee Dee, who is my big tidy up. And she did say very pretty. Thank you very much. And I'm still missing part of the conversation. That's okay. That's right. I don't need music. Giovanna says she doesn't need music. She has the nature's one. Hear that? Pretty soon you're going to see them flying around my head like a halo. I'm kidding. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy opening this window. And right now the trees, I don't know if we could see this. Anybody want to move? Close your eyes if you get seasick. Your warning. See that. Don't look at my raggedy porch. I painted it once. Those are gumballs. Moving some more on the ground. I don't know what kind of trees those are, but they're very pretty when they bloom purple and then they turn all green. And gumballs are these are gumballs. This is from the gumball tree. Porcupines. Do not walk barefoot in this yard. Unless you know you're, no, I'm not going to finish that sentence because troll bait. Then feel free to walk barefoot. I hope you get stuck. Thank you, Sherlock. Angel says thank you. You're welcome. My big tidy up, Tip Halo. Yeah, I kind of look like that. Martha says, Giovanna says plum trees. Sherlock says we, because you know she enjoys her movement of the camera. Plum trees. I looked them up and I could not find out what those trees were. If that's what they're called. Yay, learned something new. I will look it up to make sure that I'm not misunderstanding. They don't have fruit in them, on them. They don't grow fruit yet. We've been here 6 years. That's as big as I think as they're going to get. I keep looking at the one. It's pretty. Angel says TY Coleen for the shout. I think I already said that. Beautiful view, Martha said. Red bud tree, very common in our area. Red bud, I think, was what I was thinking. My parents had a tree that would bloom, be purple, but that thing was huge and had red bark. And that's what I thought these were, but these aren't getting, they're not getting bigger. Maybe it's the way they're, I don't know. Anyway, thank you, Don, for that. Don said that, by the way. Deborah says pretty view. Wild plum trees. Giovanna says they call them wild plum trees. Now, keep in mind, Giovanna isn't here in the U.S., so we have different words for different things. In fact, I'm calling this Seminole Piecing. I am absolutely sure that it's called a zillion other things. I called it diamonds forever. I need to make a quilt called that. I bet there is a quilt called that. I bet Donna Jordan did it because Donna Jordan is genius. She doesn't know who I am. But I got these two ready. And I was just showing the mug rugs I was making to sell with the piecing on the sides. When I looked at mug rugs, they said they gave various sizes. And I was like, I don't need 5x7 or 6x9, 11 by. Going with a sheet of paper. Going with the size of standard sheet of A4 paper. That's how big I'm making mine. And it's getting the coaster with it. Just because I like them. Finally found something I enjoy making. My hands don't enjoy it quite as much as I do, but if our bodies cooperated, would all be, you know, I don't know what it would all be. Okay, Angel says, oh, and we're talking about the trees. Don Denny says they won't get any bigger. Angel says the red buds don't have gumballs, but they do go purple before green. Yeah, I'm sorry. I get distracted. The little brown spots all over the ground, those are the gumballs from this one giant gumball tree we have over here. The ones straight out are not that type of tree. And I really, if it wasn't for the shade that that gumball tree gives us in the summertime, because these are south-facing windows and all the sun comes through there, and it's always 90 degrees in this house, year-round practically, in the afternoon. But they are two different trees. Sylvia says they are gorgeous. Thank you, Sylvia. Like I said, Sylvia is doing a variation of these with more strips in the center, which I'm going to try eventually. I think that is just very pretty on anything. Right now, I may change my mind later. Giovanna, maybe your mom had a, I can't say it, jacaranda, jacaranda tree. They are purple and huge. Maybe. Let's see, Mary G. Good morning. Gumballs was from our sweet gum tree. Yes, sweet gum tree. That's what gives gumballs. I always just say gumballs. You ladies are so smart. And thank goodness, because you've got me. And, well, I can use all the help I can get some days. Sylvia wishes it was 90 there. I wish it was 90 there for you, too. It's freezing, and not to have any heat, that's not okay. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up because I was well over my hour, but I hope you all enjoyed the piecing, and I will get some up closes in the shorts, and I might even do a ASMR style, which means no talking. Full videos on these. I can tell you the big pineapples take me 45 to 50 minutes to do. I can fast forward and knock that down a little bit, but I don't talk through the whole thing because on the weekends when I get time to sew, I have other people in the house that seem to not want to shut up when I'm doing anything. And my husband will say the same thing about me when he's gaming. Then I want to have deep discussions where he needs to pay attention. Because we're ornery like that. My husband, I can't tell you how many times I caught him this weekend. The camera was going, and I was like, you know, I have a blackmail reel now. And he's like, what? Oh, that was on. Uh-huh. Which is why I said, think about what you're going to say. And he still said it. And I'm giving it to my son. I was like, tell your dad we've got a blackmail reel. I actually would not do that. That is not acceptable behavior to follow through on blackmail. I decided years ago, easiest way to deal with somebody, because I knew somebody who thought that they were absolutely going to get things their way by trying to blackmail me with something. I was like, okay, let's go show the judge. Let's get it out there in front of everybody to see. Stop that. Let's see. Everybody's saying goodbye, and I've talked through it so everybody could continue the goodbyes. Don't forget to visit my friends and my mods. Brandy 100 Proof Quilter is going to be on at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Melissa 7 p.m. depending on how the court thing goes. Drawn out too long, she may just have a chat instead of a sew and chat tonight. Who knows? But Melissa Practically Creative will be on at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm giving U.S. times because that's where we are. Sylvia is getting U.S. times too because I'm mean. Sylvia has 9 a.m. Eastern Time Friday that she goes up. Watch out for our friend Halo, who is Angel. Angel Stouffer, right? I never pay attention to the last name because I always say the first name. She does uploads Wednesday. I think some Wednesdays she takes off. She shows all kinds of fun stuff. She did a very good explanation on bobbins. I had no idea. This thing is a death trap. Now I know. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sherlock. And I'm trying to think. Anybody else? Let's see. Get all my mods in there so I don't forget. Oh, Miss Ellen. Miss Ellen does pop up on Tuesday sometime now. And she is mod in all of their links. I need to put Dawn's in there, even though she's not a mod for me. My friend over at my quilting projects. I need to get hers in there. All the links are underneath this video if you're not watching the chat. And why aren't you watching chat? Because fun, crazy stuff goes on over there. You know, you never can tell what's going to be said. Slow down. And Lori, yes, Lori, Quilting in the Country. Her link is also below, and she might be on tomorrow, she said. Yay! I am doing a lot of driving, a lot of setting. I may miss that, but there is always hashtag team replay. We appreciate you. We appreciate the lurkers. And I do this too much, don't I? Let's put our hands in our lap. Dee Dee, who is over at My Big Tidy Up, does cleaning. She does organization. She does decluttering, which all make my heart very happy. Until my husband says, stop it, you're going to throw away things we need. Angel says, I like it. Death trap. LMBO. Laughing my butt off. I know, right? You know, my machines aren't named besides the good one and the not good one. I think they may just be Death Trap 1 and Death Trap 2 after this. That's all I'll have to ask you. All righty then. Thank you so much, Sylvia. I appreciate my moderators taking time out of their day. This is not a paid position. They are the people in blue with the wrenches who are not afraid to throw them if needed. So keep it kind, keep it lighthearted. Be the light you hope to see in others, and everyone have a fantastic week. Enjoy your time wherever you are.